Hello, welcome. It's good to be back in the commentary booth. I'm ISRL Knight, bringing you the Division 3 French Grand Prix here from ISRL Esports, and we've just started the session, and as you can see, it's a wet qualifying today. Dry race, so this won't matter too much. The weather, I mean, come race time, but this does mean that everybody gets free tire choice for the start of the race, so we're going to see, I think, some pretty interesting strategies. It also means that we can go all out here during qualifying. Oh, we have a retirement already, and look at that, that's Bumblebee, who's already hit the side of the barrier there. That's not the way you want to start qualifying. We're on board with Cozy here, who's just coming around there in Sector 3 towards the end of this lap, and yeah, round 4 of the 16-round championship. We are we are well into the season now, but of course there's still a lot of racing to go. It's we're starting to see some favorites in the championship. We're starting to see some guys who might have a good opportunity to fight back as well, and hopefully we get a little bit of competition there for Welsh Maldonado today. Cozy goes fastest there with a 146.3, but only 2 people have set a lap. But Ix goes right behind him at 146.4.5. We're going to see these lap times drop, though, as the track dries up from cars driving on it. So as that dry line starts to evolve there, or drier line, I should say, I think we're going to see some of these times start to fall. Just filling you in there on the Division 3 leaders, well, not leaderboards, but championship standings. P1 is Welsh Maldonado with 113 points. That's a big gap to P2 at 77 points. That's Nick Potgieter. ISRL Chris in P3 with 59 points. So the top 3 is fairly spread out, but with our point system here, of course, 40 points for the win, points all the way down to 15th. We're gonna hopefully see a lot of guys there with some big point opportunities. It also means that a bad weekend can be quite costly. On board with F1 Richie, who actually is 5th in the championship. But we'll get to that in just a sec. 4th place in the championship, this Bacher with 57 points, only a 2-point gap to 3rd place there, and then it gets really tight for the next couple of drivers. F1 Richie, P5 with 51 points, tied with Chill Mo, P6 with 51 points. Craigo82, P7, 47 points. ISRL X, P8 with 46 points, and CJ Butch, P9 with 40 points. Monkey Mafia right behind them at 34 points in P10, and Fallen Monkeys, P11, 24 points. Cozy and Aizen are tied for P12 with 22 points. Bumblebee, who did retire already, he's going to want to change the outcome of this race, I think. He's in P14 with 19 points. Sprunky, P18 with 15 points. Astunik, P18 with 16 points. Maverick, P17 with 14 points. And Hartman and Extreme Pascal round out our championship order, 18th and 19th respectively, 8 and 2 points respectively, and that's how things look here going into the 4th round. So I would say, I mean, honestly, if we're going to be looking at battles today, we're going to be looking at that, not that top 2 fight with Welsh Maldonado, who's shown by far that I think she is the quickest driver in this division, with 2 victories and 3 podiums here in 3 races. But it's going to be, I think, with Chris, Bacher, F1 Richie, Chill Mo, those guys in the 50s in terms of points. We've seen them near the front of the grid for most of the races so far this season. Of course, remember Chill Mo with that absolutely an epic fight against the 2 AlphaTauris in Austria, and actually Mo has retired too, so I think another victim there. Same turn as Bumblebee, I think it looked like on my mini-map, and Unfortunately for him, he's going to be starting towards the back. His teammate, though, Aizen, I believe, is on a lap right now. So we're going to take a look at him as he's going through the back straight chicane. And it's been a not the start of the season Aizen wanted. Of course, he finished 2 laps down in Austria and towards the back there in our second race in China, but had a good weekend in Canada. Brought himself back up the order just a little bit. And looking to, I guess, turn his luck around here for the rest of the season. Goes a little bit wide there, and that's going to cost him some time. I thought almost he was going to be giving some room, but no, he's still going. We're going to see how much time he can recover there. I had a bit of a moment in this wet weather. Coming around the final corner now. And hard on the acceleration. That's not a lap Aizen wanted there. Where is he going to cross? Yeah, 145. That's still P7. There's still 9 minutes left in the session, so I have no doubt that he's going to improve that. Regardless of that, he did set a lap on the board, and with the track conditions like we have right now, you do kind of want to get that lap time. Now, interesting thing here is that Welsh Maldonado is on the inters, and we're seeing a couple of guys fit the inters. It seems every lap so far has been set on the wets, but with Welsh Maldonado, and I think the track drying up ever so slightly, we're seeing some inters pop up. Craigo, Chris, Ix, Joseph Cozy, and a couple of guys near the front there. Actually, most of the front runners have now switched to inters, and they're going to be heading back on track soon. So again, like I said earlier, expect those lap times to drop shortly here. Of course, a circuit Paul Ricard, 15 turns here, and it's better known for testing capabilities, but it still does give some good racing here, at least in the video games. We're not going to touch on how this race is in real life, but it's certainly a very fun track to drive with some very interesting corners, such as this one here, this turn 11 right-hander where you slowly decelerate there. The whole corner, you could easily have 2 turns there, but no, the whole this whole complex is 11 into 12, a little bit wide there for Maldonado, and she's heading towards the finish line though. Still on good time. We saw that purple sector 1. And I didn't quite see what the split was for Sector 2, but at 130 here, going into the last corner, Aizen was at a 140 exiting this corner, so we're going to see a very quick lap here from Welsh Maldonado. And crossing the line, she goes P1. I don't think there's any doubt about that. First driver on the inters. So 142.7. And we have the fitted tire graphic up right now, so don't be too fooled by that gap to Richie and Maverick. They both set that time on the wets. Now, I do have to say, I'm quite impressed with Maverick's lap here. 144.6. Or was that, did he set that on the, oh, he did set it on the inters, and I was going to say that's, I think, the highest we've seen Maverick up on the leaderboards so far this season. P3 there in qualifying, and he's at least going to start P17, thanks to Chillmo and Bumblebee retiring, but a good start of the session here for Maverick. Let's take a look at Ix, who is on a flying lap, and he's coming around to the end there, just coming around turn 12 into turn 13. And it's been a not ideal season for Ix. I know that he had, of course, I mean, he had that podium early on, which he's quite happy about, but I think he wishes he would have at least followed up with another podium by now. But in France, he does think he is strong out here, and that's a strong qualifying lap. The 142.9 put him up into the first row of the grid provisionally. I think he is eyeing another podium here, and if he does get that, it's going to catapult him up the standings, at least ahead of Chillmo and F1 Richie, assuming they're not on the podium with him. So he's down in P8 right now in the championship order, looking to improve that, and of course it's very tight there with 4 drivers within 6 points of each other, or 5 points of each other, sorry. So it's a lot of room for gains, a lot of room for losses too if you don't have the race you wanted, and it's it shows that with this custom point system we have here at ISRL, you really got to put your best in, weekend out, if you want to maximize your points and stay at the top of the championship. But at the same time, if you finish lower down the order, you still get a solid haul of points that lets you stay competitive for a while at least. And you've really got to get a string of bad results to get knocked out of contention. But that's the same as real F1. CJ Butch, who had that last lap pass to beat Welsh Maldonado to take the win in China, is on track. And we're going to see there what he can do. He's on the inters, set his best lap on the wets. So looking like he's going to be at least gaining a little bit of time here in the Williams as he's heading through the back straight chicane. And through the Sector 2 timing line, he is 2 seconds up on his time. That does put him here in the 142s. We're starting to see some 141s, though. Welsh Maldonado, oh, that's a Red Bull not pointing the right way. Is that Hartman, or is that is Hartman there on the outlap? So at least he's on his outlap. Not a ruined lap for Hartman, but hopefully his tires aren't too cooked. Maldonado, but CJ Butch gets a little bit of a wiggle there coming out of turn 11, keeps it under control, and he's heading towards the finish line here. But yeah, CJ Butch had that big crash in Canada coming through the turn 14 chicane there before the start finish line, and of course we saw him there on stream. I think he hit the wall of champions, came across, DNF'd on that inside wall. That win in China, that podium in the Austrian debut, but for CJ Butch here in France, it's P5 with a 142.8 right behind Bakker's, just 0.005 of a second separating those two drivers. And I think he's probably going to be going for another lap here before the end of this session. Nick Podgieter with a big moment there as we tuned in on board, invalidating his lap, and that's not going to let him get any closer to Welsh Maldonado now. I hope he has enough fuel for another run, though, because we are starting to run a little bit short on time. Monkey Mafia 3 seconds up on his time through or at least that must have been a glitch, because he's not even at the end of a sector yet. Or that must have been his last lap, sorry, because he did set a 142, hasn't he? So yeah, good lap there from Monkey Mafia, getting himself up into P4, and we're seeing some names there that we're not quite familiar with, I think, in the top of the qualifying, or not familiar with the names rather, but we're not used to seeing them so high up the order. Monkey Mafia, Cozy, both with really good qualifying laps here. And with 2 minutes to go in the session, and some guys still have not set a lap on the inters. It's going to be interesting to see if they can stay there, but with Cozy with a 142.4, that's a very competitive lap there for the AlphaTauri driver. And Cozy, of course, looking to improve his unlucky, let's call it unlucky, season start. Craigo forgot to put his setup. That's going to be absolutely rough for Craigo. This is it's not a track that you can really default set up on, but hopefully he can manage something. Kyle saying Welsh to T2. It is being considered, Hartman. It is being considered. Jaron Visser coming on, cheering out his fellow countryman there, Nick Podgieter. Thank you for tuning in, Jaron. Hope you have some good luck in your own race there later today. Not too much, because, yeah, you are racing against me. And here we go. Yeah, 1:30 left in qualifying, so I better start paying attention to who's coming across the finish line. Cozy is one of those cars around the final corner now. I think he's starting his last lap just now. Probably took a cool-down lap. There's a Haas coming around. That's Welsh Maldonado starting her final lap. Craigo has invalidated early on in his lap, so he's not going to be improving here. F1 Richie has invalidated as well, so both Ferraris quite unlucky here. I think Ix is about to start his flying lap, his final flying lap. Or is that... No, he is finishing his flying lap, I think. And Ix, 142.2. That gets him up to P6, gets him past Cozy. And that's going to be his final lap of the session, unless he goes for another one here. We're going to see here if he keeps pushing. There is some yellow flags. I think that's Maverick who's had a spin, and it is CJ Butch. No, that's not CJ Butch. Who's coming around? That's Always Rick coming around to the finish line now. And ooh, big moment for Always Rick. He was 2/10 up on his time. I think that just cost him those 2/10 unless he had a bad exit on his previous lap. He actually did because he gained 6/10 there and gets himself up to P3. Great lap from Always Rick. We're seeing Nick Poggater coming around the final corner, invalidated unfortunately. Bakker starting his final lap, but that was a 2-lap invalidation for Bakker. He's not going to get another lap in. Monkeys coming around to the finish line now, and that's a 1:42 for Monkeys up to P10. Great lap there from the Red Bull. His teammate right behind him gets, oh, look at that. The two Red Bulls going to be starting next to each other there if nothing changes, as they have set very close lap times. Cozy coming to the final to set his final lap of the session. Improves, but not enough to get past his teammate. We're seeing another pair of Red Bull-backed teams there on the same row. Cozy and Studik going to be starting on close to each other on the grid. Welsh Maldonado improves her time. Not enough, though, as Azen, who completely under the radar, stole pole position there with a 1:41.0. And I was talking about Azen wanting to improve his season, and that's the way you go about it, as he takes provisional pole here. And unless Stunik can do something about it, no, you can't. That's P4 for Stunik. Can anybody else do something about Azen's pole position? And I don't think they can, not unless Always Rick has a lap up his sleeve here, and he does not, as he abandons that lap, and everyone else is finished. And I think that's going to be Azen on his first pole position of the year in the Mercedes, and I don't know where he pulled that lap from, because I don't think we even looked at him in this qualifying session. But Azen, P1 there, starting on the front row of the grid with Welsh Maldonado. That's a great lap for the Tier 3 manager, or the Division 3 manager rather, and that's how we do it. I'm sure he's quite happy with that one after that tough start to the season he's had. Welsh Maldonado saying, "Oh no," to Craigo's lack of setup. Luckily for you, Welsh, she's starting at the end of the pack, so not going to be a problem into turn 1. Kyle saying Ferrari had a rough quali. Indeed, I don't think F1 Richie was able to set a lap on the inters there, because that's just a 1:44. Yeah, so he did. That is his wet tire lap there. Sprunky not setting a lap time either. So that's going to be the end of our qualifying session. And yeah, how can we say this? Azen on pole position. Welsh Maldonado starting on the front row. Alongside him, Ix and Stunik are going to be on the second row of the grid. Both, I believe, their highest qualifying appearance of the season. Beyond that, I'll read the rest of the graph in just a second there. Always Rick with also his best qualifying performance of the season in P5. Nick Poggater in P6 in the McLaren. CJ Butch in the Williams, P7, Renault in P8 with Monkey Mafia. That's the highest Renault has been in a little bit. Joseph Cozy, Monkeys, and Hartman very close there, 9, 10, and 11. Bakker P12, F1 Richie P13, and Maverick P14. I thought he was going to set another lap there on the inters. I don't think he has. I think he was quite happy with that lap he set early. Beyond that, it's either a DNF or no time set. Sprunky and Craigo did not set a time. Bumblebee and Chilmo but retired, and I think Chris might have had some issues as well. Cohen says Poggater needed 2 more seconds to the finish line, so I think Nick Poggater just barely missing out there on setting his final quali lap, and again, did not quite catch that, unfortunately, on the stream, but not like it matters now. We are in the race, and as mentioned earlier, it is a dry race, at least at the start. I don't know how the weather might affect there towards the end, but certainly not the downpour we had during qualifying. This also means that everybody is going to enjoy a fresh set of tires and also a free choice of tires. So that top 10 not going to be forced to start on the softs or whatever tire they qualified on. They do get free choice, and this does mean that the back half of that grid is at a slight disadvantage, because normally you qualify outside of the top 10, you have the advantage of fresh tires, you have the advantage of tire choice and of pit strategy. But now with everybody getting it, it's going to be quite interesting to see what we go with. And I do think we're going to be seeing some two-stoppers today, but I would not be surprised if we saw quite a lot of medium tires there at the start, because there is a chance you can, it's going to be marginal, but I think you are going to be able to stretch the mediums into a one stop with the hards, assuming that you're suffering from too much tire wear. I was able to make my mediums in practice last about 11 laps before they really started losing pace, and the hards, of course, are going to last about 15 laps, and with a 27 lap race, as you can see, it's going to be very, very marginal. So we're just getting ready for the drivers there to get started, and for the division manager to give the signal to start. And it's going to be an interesting one here in Paul Ricard. So we just get ready there in 20 seconds to go on the formation lap. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in already. Don't forget to check out the links in our description for our merchandise. If you want to get yourself some ISRL gear, fully custom, you can get your own driver number or one of your choice on it. And don't forget to check out our other social media links there in the description. Give us a like, a follow on your platform of choice if you want to see some highlights and some very fancy graphics. Not a pat on the back there at all. But yeah, getting out onto the formation lap here. Let's take a look at our tire strategy as soon as I'm done sipping this delicious coffee. I'm in the true F1 mood because I'm sipping some Lavazza, which I'm sure you're gonna recognize from this little car here. Now, let's see. Tires. So, well, this is interesting. The whole grid, bar 3 people going on the mediums. Monkey Mafia with a bold call on the softs. He's going to be so much quicker than the guys ahead of him here for the opening laps, but he's going to have to pit much sooner. And I think he might be counting on an early safety car here to get off those soft tires. But in France, with the runoffs we have, it is quite rare to hit the wall. Now, safety cars aren't rare here because of debris and whatnot, but it does, you got a lot more room to catch that car before you hit the wall. And so, let's just say the safety car is a lot less likely to come out here than it is in Canada or another similarly tight track like, I don't know, Australia or something. So, yeah, on the softs there for Monkey Mafia, we're going to have to keep an eye on him, see how his strategy evolves. Maverick and Craigo, the only two to opt for the reverse strategy of starting on the hards and trying to drag those tires out. As we can see, the predicted pit stop strategy, it's going to be a 2-stop if you start on the softs. It's going to be a 1-stop if you go medium hard, assuming, again, that you don't shred your tires there via setup. So, can anybody pull off the unexpected here? Maybe Zerp, Welsh Maldonado from a podium, maybe even beat her outright. We are going to find out soon. Aizen, P1 there, starting in pole position. He's going to need a very good start if he wants to maintain it. Getting ready for the lights here as the back of the grid queues up. We've got a race about to start, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights in Paul Ricard. And they're off, and it's a good start from Aizen there. He's able to keep Maldonado at bay, and they're shuffling around in the back, but into turn 1 is going to be Aizen, P1, Welsh Maldonado, P2, and I believe that's Ix. There's some spinning in the back. There are a lot of cars going off track. I see some end plates, and that's an absolutely chaotic start further back. And who's got damage? I think Ix has been spun. Yeah, Ix has had a poor start there, getting spun, and there's a VSC already, and that's not the safety car that the guys like Monkey Mafia wanted, but it is gonna slow the race down. And there's a drive-through for Hartman for somehow, and he must have made very hard contact to get a drive-through, because I saw the penalty pop up for causing a collision, and that must have been absolutely a huge contact for that to happen. But Aizen is going to maintain his lead here as we go back under green. And let's get your position change graphic up. Aizen, Welsh Maldonado holding position X, or X dropping down, so that promotes Stunek into P3. Always Rick up one as well. F1 Richie with a 6 position gain off that start, 7 position gain off that start. He's absolutely nailed the start of this race. Welsh Maldonado starting to look there at Aizen as they head towards the end of this first lap, and oh, she's all over the back of that Mercedes, and I thought for sure Aizen was going to be able to pull a bit more of a gap there, but not going to happen. Is she even going to need DRS to get past them? No, they're side by side into turn 1, and is Aizen going to fight this one around the outside? Not going to try. Welsh Maldonado very, very clear of Aizen there, able to pull ahead of him, and that's Welsh Maldonado in the lead. Aizen's going to have to fight back if he wants a chance to get a win here. He's still looking strong for the podium. That's a 2.2 second lead to P3. These guys absolutely sent it off the start, getting very far ahead of everybody, and it looks like they got the most pace out of anybody so far. And Stunek there going to be chasing them further back. Always Rick following them ahead. He leads CJ Bush in P5. F1 Richie following them in P6. Further down the pack there, Monkey Mafia Sprunky, who's had a great start there, up 7 positions as well. Cozy maintains his position off the start. I'm sure he's going to be happy about that one. And he's still in a good position for some strong results here. Cho Mo up 6 positions there after his DNF during qualifying. He's running in the top 10. ISRL Monkey's down 1, but still maintain his more or less his position. He's under pressure from Ix though in P12, who's down 9, but he was doing a little bit worse there. Managed to recover some positions as some of the damaged cars diving into the pits, and Nick Potyeter was one of them, down 10 positions from his P6 start. F1 Richie there getting a little bit closer to CJ Butch. We don't have DRS yet. It is going to be enabled at the end, or sorry, on this lap here as they cross to start lap 3. And not going to be activated on this straight away. They're going to have to wait until the back straight to get it, and they're going to have to stay within a second of the driver ahead to get it. As F1 Richie goes wide there, and actually he's gonna turn that into at least an attempt there as he tries to squeak side by side there with CJ Butch, but CJ Butch, having none of that, stays ahead, and F1 Richie's going to have to wait. Better luck next time there for the Ferrari. Aizen is still in a DRS range of Welsh Maldonado, and this is going to be interesting because I think this was what I thought was going to make or break Aizen's race, is if he was still going to be in DRS range when DRS opened. Welsh Maldonado is so quick off the starts, and she's essentially cleared out a lot of competitors before DRS open. Aizen still though half a second back. F1 Richie getting past CJ Butch into that chicane, and behind him that's Monkey Mafia now having a go at CJ Butch. And is he going to be able to do it on the soft tires through the swooping turn 10 right-hander? Not able to do it. He's going to have a peek down the inside. No, it kind of looked like that from the other angle. And oh, is that who we've got trouble in the back? That's ISRL X. And is that a flat tire for X? No, okay, it kind of looked like that there for. From my point of view, it's just a spin, so he's lost a position, he's lost a couple, and to his teammate, and takes a penalty there. Not the way he wanted his race to be going right now. We're starting to see some pits. Is Cozy pitting? Does he have damage? I'm not sure. Maybe just a strategic pit stop there. But let's tune back into this battle we've got raging on, because always Rick now is defending from ISRL Richie, or F1 Richie, sorry. And we saw Richie having a little peek again there, just like he had with CJ Butch. And is F1 Richie going to make it 2 Williams in 2 laps? It's all going to come down to this straightaway here with the DRS. and he's going to have to get a good exit here, because if Always Rick beats him on the exit, he might be out of luck. Aizen, though, has dropped back from Welsh Maldonado, so either ran out of battery, made a mistake. F1 Richie goes for the move, and he's going to get it done long before the chicane. No, he's not. Always Rick fights him, and Always Rick going to have to slide in back, though. F1 Richie getting the elbows out and forcing him, just not wide, but to take a less than ideal line through the corner. Now, Always Rick is going to be under pressure from CJ Bush, from Monkey Mafia, and from Sprunky. Monkey Mafia, though, the only driver here to be on the soft tires. So he's going to have to pit shortly. These soft tires aren't going to last more than 5 or 6 laps. That's a little bit wide from CJ Bush through turn 11. And through turn 12, though, it looks like he's able to recover a little bit to his teammate. I don't know if the Williams are going to have some team orders in place or if they're going to let them race. I'm not sure how much communication there is going on between the two teammates, but it looks like CJ Bush might be a little bit quicker than Always Rick here, so it might be a good idea for the Williams to switch those cars around and get clear of the Renault and the Haas behind them. And Hartman has served his drive-through. That's why you see him just a little bit further back from the pack. But he did switch to hard tires, though, so he's going to be on those tires for a lengthy amount of time. Sprunky's getting quite close to the back of Monkey Mafia, but not able to make a move there, as they're a little bit in a sort of DRS train. And as F1 Richie does start to increase his lead, he's gotten out of DRS range of Always Rick. Always Rick has been out of his DRS range, and so. Oh, is that a move there from CJ Bush? The Williams are going at it, but CJ Bush is going to have to slide in behind. I think he was hoping his teammate would maybe break a little bit earlier than he did. He was going to be able to sneak it around the outside. Not the case here, and the Williams stay 5th and 6th. We've gotten a bit of a field spread already there with the incidents at the start. And I'm curious to know if Cozy did have that issue with damage, because that was a very early pit stop for the AlphaTauri. And man, this is the part where I cue into my co-commentator. Unfortunately, I am alone here in the booth today, so not sure what happened to Cozy, but I'm sure we'll know at the end of the race. A little bit of lag there from CJ Bush, and still right behind his teammate. And as his teammate now has no DRS on the Ferrari, he might have an opportunity for a move, but he's not tucked into the slipstream. He's not tucked into the slipstream, CJ Bush, and so he's not going to be able to get that maximum drag reduction. And did a little bit of a glitch there, so I'm just going to tune off of his onboard, because that is getting a little bit annoying, as he's hitting the rev limiter in the game. No, he's not actually driving like that, don't worry, people. And he is quite close to the rear of his teammate, and at this point it's so obvious that Always Rick is holding his teammate back. I do think these guys are on good terms, and yeah, CJ Bush going to get past him quite easily here. I think Always Rick might have lifted there, realized that he was holding his teammate up, and now he's going to play the role of defense as he tries to hold back Sprunky, who got past Monkey Mafia finally, as those soft tires are starting to fall off just a little bit. I have to admit, I am impressed with Aizen. Still 1.5 seconds behind Welsh Maldonado. That was the gap on lap 4, and it stayed the same since then. And looking at his ERS, and yeah, Welsh Maldonado is very much holding that gap there purposely, because she's got almost full overtake. Look at that battery on the steering wheel. I'll pull up the telemetry for you guys. It's going to be a little bit easier to see. Yeah, 79% for Welsh Maldonado, 30% there for Aizen. So he's using that battery very early, very hard on the battery, if I'm being entirely honest there as well. Only on lap 7 out of 27. Thought he got 40% left. Of course, it does regenerate. It's not like it's not a one and done there, but he is pushing to maintain that pace and maintain that gap to Welsh Maldonado. And Welsh Maldonado is kind of cruising out front, and I gotta agree with Hartman here. I think Welsh Maldonado to tier 2 might not be entirely out of the realm of possibility here. Sprunky getting quite close to Always Rick. Is Sprunky going to go for it? He is, and gets past there before the braking zone. Is Always Rick going to send it around the outside? Tries. Sprunky gave him a lot of room there, a lot of respect from Sprunky, but it's not enough because Always Rick's just not able to get that car there, and he loses the position. Is Monkey Mafia now going to have a go at it? Monkey Mafia can kind of bide his time here. He is going to pit soon. He knows he's going to lose these positions. I think he might just be trying to ride the ERS or DRS train and gain some time. But with a bad turn 11 there from Always Rick, it's let Monkey Mafia close in quite a bit. And Chillmo's right behind them too. Chillmo joining this party a little bit late as he started P16. He's now at the P9. So a good move there from Chillmo. Not anywhere close to his rivals, though. And I don't know if we're going to see Chillmo with the elbows out today because it looks like he only brings those elbows out for certain people. And is Monkey Mafia going to be one of them? As Chillmo has a peek down the inside. No, he tucks back in there before the braking zone. DRS not enough to overcome the slipstream of the cars ahead. And into this tight section of the track. Is Chillmo gonna have a look? He thought about it. We saw that. We saw him switch back into the racing line, and Monkey Mafia having to slow down quite a bit there. He's gonna let Chillmo close, and if he gets a good exit, and that's not the line you want to take for Monkey Mafia. Chillmo hugging that corner tightly. He's gonna get a much better exit. Look at the run he's getting, and that's gonna be an easy move done for Chillmo and the Mercedes up to P8. And I have to think our Monkey Mafia's tires are starting to fall off the cliff here. Lap 8 is about as far as you're going to drag them out. And he might just be getting very, very poor acceleration out of those heavy braking zones. And I think that's what cost him here. And that's why he was not able to get past the Williams, because he was very close to those Williams for a very long time, wasn't he? And yeah, still, he's falling back. He's still within DRS range of Chillmo, of course, and he should be there for at least another lap. But is he going to pit this lap? We're just going to stay on board here with this battle and find out. And now this has gone a little bit unnoticed, and I'm going to switch to that in just a second. Yeah, Monkey Mafia is going in the pits. F1 Richie has closed that gap up to Stunik, and he's closed it up quick. Stunik was 2 seconds behind Azen. He is still 2 seconds behind Azen, but F1 Richie, who started way at the back, is now all over the rear of a Stunik for P3, and F1 Richie gains 6 positions off of that turn 1 chaos that happened behind the cameras. I'm still not sure what happened to Ix, as we didn't get quite the best camera angle there on the start, but he made the most of it. Now he's all over the rear of the AlphaTauri, and Stunik's got a lot more battery. F1 Richie's pushing very hard, so it's going to be a lot easier for Stunik to defend. And as you can see there, F1 Richie had the run, he had the slipstream, but as he pulls out of the slipstream, Stunik hits the overtake button and is just able to negate that run and hold him back. So F1 is going to have to try again later, and with 19% battery to Stunik's 57, Stunik's got the cards in his hand. He's got he's holding the aces here with that overtake. It is enough to use as a defense. Oh, we've got a crash here. Is that Bumblebee? No, it's not. It's Chris. I think Chris has had a spin. And it's only a spin, though. No damage on that front wing. So he's got away quite lucky with that. And able to carry on. That means no safety car, no VSC as well, because there's no debris. And the race carries on here. And again, F1 Racing is going to have another go with DRS. And he's going to have a much better run this time. And I think Stunik he's not even using his overtake to defend there, because he's playing the long term. You know, he's not playing all of his cards right away with the DRS there into the next straight. I have no doubt that he's going to be able to catch up. No, he's not, because we have a VSC, and Maverick has crashed it coming out of the last corner. He's hit that inside wall, and if you ask me, that should have been a safety car. But it's just going to be the VSC here. It's going to neutralize the race. And are we going to see some cheeky pit stops? No, we're not. Everybody was near the pit entrance, opting to stay out, and it's because they're all... actually, Craigo could have pit there, because he's on the mediums. I would have pit if I were Craigo, if I'm being entirely honest with you there. Aizen looking strong in P2 though. He is still close to Welsh Baldonado. I gotta give him credit for that. 40% battery. He's been recovering while staying close as we get back under green. And Stunik, yeah, that's just unfortunate for Stunik because he's basically missed out on his best opportunity to re-overtake F1 Richie. I think he kind of let him by, going, well, I'll just take you back on the next straight. You know, I got more ERS, I got more battery. I don't need to push all out to get this position right now, and able to stay close. But then the VSC comes out, and right away he loses that overtaking opportunity, and it also lets F1 Richie recharge his battery, and so getting a little bit screwed over by the game there. And Hartman saying, I'm retiring. I mean, that's your call, man, but there's still a lot of race to go, so not going to comment on that one. 2 drive-thrus, and well, yeah, I'm not going to comment on that. So Stunik though still chasing F1 Richie. To the chicane, no, not able to close up there, and no DRS here on the second half. How cool would it be to get a DRS open there in that flat out right-hander? It'd be a skill, it'd be a test of bravery there, really. So the Red Bull of Hartman, I think, is going to retire, it seems. Cozy, I think, was back in the pits there, and is Cozy on... Did he pit again? Or... No, he's on a one-stop, so that was... sorry, I must have misread the graphic there. Stunik, yeah, you can see Stunik is just not taking as much of the track there on the entry to turns, and so what that leads to is F1 Richie just getting a much better run off of him on those straights. And that's why he's not able to make that move, because he's got F1 Richie kind of negates his DRS by having that increased top speed. So he is still right behind him, and going through the detection point here, if he can close up that gap just ever so slightly, he's going to get DRS again. Gotta push. Oh, and he just gets it, I think. Yeah, just gets it by about 5/100ths of a second, and gets the DRS. He's going to be able to close in again there, and he is pushing a lot harder now. As you can see, his battery, who was once at 60% there, now down to the 50s. That's still more than F1 Richie has, and I think Stunik there, now he's going to start his push, because those medium tires he's going to have to get off of them rather soon. So is F1 Richie though, so it's the good time to push. You get a little bit of free recharge in the pits, and going to allow him to push again on the outlap. Or is one of them going to try to undercut or overcut the other though? It's a good run there. Again, he's got to close in that gap. Look at that front left. And F1 Richie's going to pit. Yeah, look at that. Stunik. Oh my goodness. Stunik opting to pit right behind him and carrying so much more speed there. And able to just close her right up to his rival. And I just heard some thunking outside of my comms door, and I think Monkeys took a penalty going into the pits. A lot of guys diving into the pits here, so not a lot of undercutting, overcutting happening, as they've all kind of dove in at the same time. F1 Richie coming out behind A's, and that's Sprunky and CJ Butch there going to inherit the lead, as they have not pit yet. And Monkey Mafia is actually got himself into a little bit of a scrap there with Always Rick and Nick Potkitzer. And interesting to see, Monkey Mafia, of course, one of the only drivers to go for the 2-stop. He's up into P7. He's going to have to pit again, though, and that's where his race is going going to hinge on is if he can make that alternate strategy work. I see some calls for tires in the comments. I can tell you right now, everybody went for the medium to hard strategy, with the exception of Monkey Mafia, the Maverick. It was DNF and Chris, it seems, who's had a spin there, and I think they're going on the 2-stop there with the mediums. Everyone else is going for either the hard mediums or the medium hard strategy, which is why I haven't had the tire graph up, because there's not a whole lot of variation. We'll stay on board with this battle here because it doesn't look like there's a whole lot else happening. Actually, Bumblebee is starting to feel some pressure from the Red Bull and Monkeys, who's running quite well. And talking about pressure, he's forced him into the pits. No, I'm kidding. He's pitting for his regularly scheduled pit stop. He's been on those tires since the start of the race, and gives Monkeys P10. And has Monkeys pit yet? Yeah, he has, because he was in the pits last lap. So somehow he's gotten ahead of Chill Mo. And what's happened to Chill Mo that's made him fall so far back? Did he have to double stack with Aizen in the pit lane, I think? I do think that's what happened. I'm going to tune into this here because these guys have closed up rather quickly. And there hasn't been a move attempt yet. But there might be one here. Nick Pockets getting very close to Monkey Mafia, and always Rick right on their tail. And is he going to go for? Yes, he is. Down the inside is Nick Potgitzer, and that's an easy move done, and into the chicane ahead. And now it's going to open the door for Always Rick for maybe getting a little bit of seconds there on the overtake of Monkey Mafia, having to take that less than ideal line, not going to be able to pull it off here. Still 3/10 back though. There's going to get they're all going to get DRS on the main straight, and Sprunky finally pitting. And interesting to see where he's going to turn out. He's going very long in that opening stint, Sprunky, on the mediums. So putting on the hards, I think he's going to do more laps on the hards than on the mediums, unless he goes for, more laps on the mediums than on the hards. He's going to go for the softs. So Sprunky going for a medium soft, and that's your super alternate strategy. That's your plan C. That wasn't even one of the options. So Sprunky going with a medium soft, I think. And yeah, coming out right ahead of Nick Poggitzer, and this is very much spiced up the battle. And Sprunky's going to be very quick, so I have no doubt that he's going to be able to leave them in the dust here as in a lap or two. But that they are going to get DRS here on this main straight, and they are going to be able to kind of close in behind them. Not past him. Sprunky's going to have way too much speed. Nick Pocketer's not even going to try to get in Sprunky's slipstream there. He knows he doesn't have a chance. He's just trying to defend from Monkey Mafia, but I think that slipstream would have helped a little bit. Four cars there within a second of each other. 4 seconds or 3 seconds covers the pack right now, and is there going to be a run here? Monkey Mafia trying what he can there to get close to, Always Rick there doing what he can to get close to Monkey Mafia. It is quite hard when the guy ahead has DRS though, and you can see how Monkey Mafia is closing in on Nick Poggitzer on the medium versus hards. Monkey Mafia does have to pit again, same with Sprunky, so we might see these two battling further down, further later in this race. I think their last pit stop is going to be more or less at the same time. One thing I have noticed here is that these medium tires do last a lot longer than we expected. CJ Butch is getting close to Stunek, and that's Stunek, who is looking very strong for a podium early on. So they're going to have to fight for fourth here as he's lost track of F1 Richie, but still CJ Butch getting that move easy. He is still very much in position for a top 5 finish, and I think he's going to be quite happy with 5th place here. That's a solid haul of points for Stunek if he can maintain that. Oh, we have a yellow flag, and that's actually his teammate. That's Cozy, who's had a spin coming out of the slow near hairpin, I guess if you want to call it. Coming out of turn 6 there. So I don't know if there's any damage on that AlphaTauri. And yeah, there is damage on that front wing. That must have been a hard impact on the wall. And Cozy, that was a promising race. Unfortunately, not going to be able to make it happen here. But his teammate is still in good position for a solid haul of points. So there might be some hope for AlphaTauri. After all, Stunek, though, still within touching distance of CJ Butch. So maybe we might be able to steal 4th place back. Who knows? Monkey Mafia still holding back always, Rick, and look how much Sprunky has gained on these guys, 4.7 seconds already, and that's where that alternate strategy comes, and that's why you see alternate strategies, is because you get that much more speed on the new tires, and the whole goal is that, hey, I'm using more tires, I'm costing myself a pit stop, but I'm just going to use them, and I'm going to go all out on them, and hopefully make up that 20 seconds before the end of the race. Chris starting to close up on Chilmo, who's looking a lot stronger earlier in the race. So unfortunately for him, I think he must have gotten held up in those pit stops. Just going to tune into our comments here for a second. CJ Bush's first race in the rig, so apparently CJ Bush got a brand new rig or something, because I think it's working. He's up into P4 and closing in on ISRL Richie for that podium, and I think he might be dragging Stunek along with him, because I'm seeing that gap to Richie close up, but that gap to Stunek not closing up all that much. I know Sprunky is getting quite close to Stunek, but that's a nondescript. It's not going to matter in the end. Sprunky has to pit again, and I hope Stunek knows that, doesn't fight too hard with him. He is trying to go defensive there, or that's CJ Butch trying to go defensive. And Stunek just barely missing out on the ERS there. That's going to hurt him a little bit more than expected. Hartman, who said he was going to DNF, is actually still running here. He's a lap down, but props to him for staying in the race. And he's going to take P18 here as he crosses the start-finish line. And, oh, we got another yellow flag. Is that Chris? Something happened between Chris and Mo. We saw them getting close, and Chris having to spin the chicane, and I have to wonder if maybe he got tangled up with Mo. And it's unfortunate for Chris. He loses a position to X. No damage, though, on that racing point, but I'm sure that's not the happiest man in the cockpit right now. Joran Visser's saying, Podgitzer is so much bad luck, and I got to agree, because he's always looked so strong in races, and it seems he just gets so unlucky off starts and incidents that most of the time I don't think he's had anything to do with. I don't think he's been penalized this season. So very unlucky there for Nick Podgitzer. Chris is going to pit. Maybe those tires are cooked in the end, or maybe he's just trying to go on that alternate strategy right now. Eklund saying, come on, Renault, cheering on his cross-division teammates. And you know what, while we got you here, why don't we list off that cross-division combined championship. And after 3 races, it's Williams leading with 452 points. Of course, the combined teams, if you don't know what that is all 4 divisions there. The constructor points get combined, and we're having a overall championship. It's mostly for fun. I mean, there's not really any stakes to it, but it is still to give these drivers an incentive to come on and cheer on their cross-division teammates, and to maybe encourage some teamwork there. But Williams racing there way at the front, 452 points. Of course, coming off strong performances from Josh and Sweet Crown in Div 1, and of course AJ Wuhan and Nathan, who are absolutely dominating Tier 2 right now, at least as a team. They're in second and third there in the standings, I believe. Haas F1, 335 points, 117 points back of Williams. Gonna talk about that later though, because Sprunky going for the move on Estunik. I think Estunik was a little bit surprised to see Sprunky there, but again, as mentioned before, Sprunky has to pit again. Those tires are not going to last to the end, so Estunik is going to take that position back. Monkey Mafia is going to pit off those tires now though, so yeah, we're still got a little bit of action to go here late in the race, and let's take a look at our penalties to see who's being a good boy and who's maybe getting unlucky. And Chill Mo with 10 seconds, so there's that's 2 5-second penalties I think for Mo, and if he pits, he might be able to serve one. Yeah, so Haas F1, 117 points back of Williams in P2. McLaren Racing, P3, 307. He gets very tight here. So McLaren Racing at 145 back of the lead in P3. Alfa Romeo, 302, 5 points behind McLaren in P4 with 150 points behind Williams. And then tied with Alfa Romeo is AlphaTauri, 302 as well. Mercedes, 4 points behind them. So there's 4 teams within 10 points of each other. They're Mercedes with 298. 154 points back of McLaren of Williams. Red Bull at 252. They're 200 points off the lead in P7. Scuderia Ferrari 238. 214 points off the lead, just 14 points behind Red Bull. Right behind them, Renault 224. So it's still tight all the way through there. 224 points, 228 behind the lead, and then Racing Point 157. They are dragging a little bit further back there in last place. There's upwards of 400 points available to teams every week, though. And that's a lot of points. That's if, of course, they sweep. That's a 1-2 in every division, plus the fastest lap, plus, there's a 1-2 in every division, plus the fastest lap. They get upwards of 400 points. So, can any team just come back and get it going? We'll have to see there. Sprunky's defending hard there from Estunik because those soft tires are finally starting to fall off that cliff. And I was a little bit confused because I saw a yellow flag in the chicane for Welsh Maldonado, but it doesn't look like there's any issues with Welsh Maldonado. So it must have been just the game being the game. Is Sprunky gonna pit this lap? I do think he will, because this is gonna split his strategy in half. He'll be able to get on his second pair of softs there, and just going on his onboard. Those tires actually don't look that bad. Not gonna pit, so he's gonna wait another lap, and this is gonna open the door for Estunik to maybe make a move on there. Again, though, Estunik not going as wide as he could there on the entry to the final corner, and so it's going to cost him just a little bit of straight line speed there, just a little bit of high end, like that top speed you hit right at the end of the straightaway. That's how you get the overtakes done, and he is going to just lack a couple of kilometers there by taking I guess we can call it the alternative line. It is good if you're trying to go for a move on somebody there, because then you can kind of force them out, but not so good when you're trying to chase somebody. But still, within DRS range, he is having quite a good race, Estunik, and P4 is still very much within reach with Sprunky having a pit again. CJ Butch did have to pit again, I think, or did he? How did he fall back? It must have been when I was reading the stats there, because with no co-commentary with me today, can't keep my eye on everything. So apologies if I'm missing some stuff here. Let's take a look at our YouTube comments once more. Josh saying that might be the yellow flag, or did he pit? That's the thing, the yellow flag was for the Haas. And so I'm not, and I was looking at the mini-map, and it's not like the dot went further back or anything. Like, it was just the dot was moving as normal, so I'm quite confused on what happened to CJ Butch there. One stop though, so he definitely did not stop again. Sprunky again opting not to pit. Is he going to try to make those tires last all the way to the end? Hartman retiring with 4 laps left. I mean, sure, but if there's 2 more retirements, you could have got some free points. But yeah, definitely not happy with his race in the Red Bull there. Had a drive-through off the start in what I can only describe as a bit of a weird incident, because he essentially had, I think he made contact with Ix and he got a drive-through for it, and I've never seen that before. But it's at the same, and then he got another one under VSC, so definitely an unlucky race there from ISRL Hartman, and that's a P17 finish, or non-finish, I should say. Mushroom asking who's 2-stopping and who's not. Everybody below 10th 2-stopped. So, or sorry, including 10th, and Nick Potgitcher was for damage, not for strategy. So I think it's quite obvious which strategy is the better one here. Cozy up in our comments there after his retirement going, let's go Billy, or sorry, come on Billy, urging his teammate on to catch up to Sprunky. And I can't believe Sprunky is going to try to make those tires last. He's got a pit. You can't one-stop a soft medium here. It's France. For sure Sprunky's going to get, for sure Sprunky's going to get a some sort of flap. With 3 laps to go, I think he's just trying to inch those tires along. And I mean, with no penalties for Sprunky, Stunik has 6 seconds in penalties. What this means is that if Sprunky somehow finishes within 6 seconds of a Stunik, he gets the position anyways. So I think we might be seeing a hard, or what did Sprunky start on? I think he started on the mediums. Are we going to see a medium? Oh no, Sprunky's spun and Stunik has hit him. That's wing damage for Stunik. And those tires I was talking about, they're done, they're toasted, and Stunik just couldn't avoid that. But luckily for Stunik, Sprunky is the next car back. Rick is very far back, and if he can just limp that car home, he's going to take P4 there, despite the damage. No point in pitting. If he pits, he throws that P4 away, so he's just got to wait and hold on. And Sprunky, with that spin, that's definitely caused by those tires just being at the end of their life. And especially in a corner like that where you're trying to accelerate pretty hard while turning, it's no surprise to me that those tires did lose traction. CJ Butch and Always Rick, we saw there in the background switching positions, and I think Always Rick not quite done with his teammate, gonna have a little cheeky look around the outside, not anywhere close enough to make a move though. Monkey's up into P8. He's running quite a good race though, I got to admit, and with no penalties. Is he gonna get? He's gonna get some free positions here. I think he's within 3 seconds of CJ Butch. Can we see Monkeys in the top 6? Maybe. The yellow flag in sector 1. Is that Azen having a moment? No, that's Craigo. Okay, that's Craigo letting some cars back. I got very scared. I thought F1 Richie had an incident there. I did not realize he was lapping his teammate. I suppose I'll give you some action from other cars here. We've been staring at Stunik and Sprunky for a while. They were the only close battle on track, but Bumblebee and Nick Potgitcher have closed up there, and Bumblebee just 5/10 behind the McLaren. Mushroom saying Hartman retired on track. Mushroom, don't lie. He retired in the pits. It was very obvious on stream. I will have to check that. No, I don't think Sprunky qualified. Chris, Sprunky started like 16th. Chris saying that Sprunky might have had a qualifying ban. Definitely don't think I definitely think he served it. So shouldn't be too much of an issue. But yeah, Sprunky is trying to make those tires last to the end, isn't he? That's a bold call, and he is going to make as he takes. He goes around the final corner. Is there 2 laps left? There's one. No, there's 2 laps left. They started lap 26. Sprunky's going to have to limp those tires home, and look how much less traction he has. Those softs absolutely toasted, but he is going to try to defend side by side into turn 1. Oh, that's easy for CJ Butch, and always Rick's going to have to check up there as Sprunky had to bleed his speed through turn 2 to avoid a spin or worse. And now, ooh, that got very close between Sprunky and Rick, and Sprunky hard on the defense there, able to hold him back, and again, always Rick. Oh yeah, he's gonna have the move easy there. Sprunky has to go super soft on the acceleration, and now Monkeys might have that position for free, as Sprunky's tires are just absolutely toast. And Monkey's gonna move up to P7, and with those penalties to the guys ahead, can he move up anymore? We're gonna have to see. He's just within that. Might just be able to sneak a position away from CJ Butch, but somehow these strategies have kind of converged here at the end. We're seeing a lot of cars very close to each other in these final laps. And Welsh Maldonado has just started her final lap of the race. It's lap 27 of 27. Aizen and F1 Rishi are getting close. Welsh Maldonado picks up her first penalty. That's not going to affect anything in the grand scheme of things, but if Aizen picks up a penalty, he might lose that position to Richie. Oh, that's a spin there from Bumblebee. No damage, though. He gets that car sorted out. And I think if he gets going quick enough, he's going to keep the position from Monkey Mafia. And that's exactly what has happened. Monkeys going for the move on. Sprunky down the main straightaway. Sprunky going to go defensive again. Not going to be able to. Monkey's not going to give him the opportunity. He's cleared him before the braking zone. Monkey's up into P7. If he can just hold steady, he gets P6 as well. And if you can close up that gap to about 0.6 there to or within 3 seconds of CJ Butch, he's going to get another free penalty. But CJ Butch is absolutely rocking it today. He's got a lot of pace there in that Williams, and I think that new rig is paying off. But again, Mo's going to get past Sprunky as well, but I'm just going to go tune into the front there for the third time this season. Welsh Maldonado is going to be coming around the final corner and take the checkered flag. It's another win for the Haas. It's another win for Welsh Maldonado, and it's another trip to the top step of the podium. And what a race for Welsh Maldonado. F1 Richie and Craigo, actually, I just noticed what these two were doing. That's cheeky. Craigo trying to get some DRS to his teammate and to help him finish there close to Aizen. But it did not work out. Aizen coming home P2. F1 Richie P3. And Student coming home P4. That's his best result in a while. I'm sure he's going to be quite happy about that. CJ Butch P6. P5 for CJ Butch, P6 for Monkeys. Sprunky coming home P7 after limping those soft tires home. What an absolute race there for the Haas, making those tires last so long. Potgieter in P9 behind Always Rick. They got close towards the end. Bumblebee after that spin P10, but didn't lose any positions. Chilmo P11. Monkey Mafia P12. Let's just look at. Oh, I missed out a time. Yeah, Chris, I'm 99% sure that Sprunky did serve his qualifying ban. So he started towards the back, and I know 5 drivers had not set a time, and I'm pretty sure he was one of them. There you go. There she is. Welsh Maldonado taking that selfie on top of the podium. That's another one for the memory books. It's another first place trophy for the Welsh racer. And Haas getting a handy dose of points there in the combined team and in the Div 3 Constructors Championship. With Sprunky's P7 to go along with Welsh Maldonado's P1. And Aizen going to be happy about that. What a turnaround for Aizen's seasons from 2 laps down in race 1 to P2 in race 4. Aizen has delivered there for Mercedes. F1 Richie P3, Estunic P4, CJ Butch P5, and Monkeys P6. And Richie with the, I think, most positions gained there as he goes P13 to P3. Sprunky up a few positions as well. Monkeys as well there from 10th to 6th. That's a good race for him. Always Rick 8th. Nick Pocketcher 9th. Bumblebee 10th. Chill Mo 11th. Monkey Mafia 12th. Chris 13th. Bacher 14th. Ix 15th after a strong qualifying, just getting that unfortunate incident at the start. But he does get fastest lap. So there is some consolation there for the Alfa Romeo. Craigo 16th. Hartman 17th. And after that, we got some DNFs there from the Maverick and who else DNF'd? I forget. Apologies for that. Now I do apologize again. The screen is gonna cut out there. I'm just gonna invite the winners to the party. Welsh Mountainado's already in here, so I do hope she realizes and joins. A's in here, and F1 Richie here. There you go. But hey, what a race, guys! That was a great Grand Prix. There was a lot of action despite a spread out field and some interesting pit strategies. And I had a lot to talk about there, which is always, I don't care about your season pass. Show me the showroom. I guess, well, F1 Richie's joined in, and I don't have any other conversations to have, so we'll just go right ahead and get started on our third place finisher. Can you hear me, Richie?
Hello, Nick.
Yeah, hello. So I guess welcome back to Victory Lane, or Podium Lane, I suppose, in this sport. That's a solid race for you, P13 to P3, 10 positions gained. Can you take us through that race?
Well, obviously, qualifying was really disappointing. I got a good lap in on the wets, and then they switched to intermediates. And I did 2 laps on intermediates and invalidated both of them, so I was really disappointed with that. But there seemed to be a lot going on turn 1 at the start. I think a few people dropped back, and I just tried to keep the pace solid then till the end.
And yeah, speaking of turn 1, we didn't get the best camera angle for that. We kind of missed what happened. I know Ix was involved. I know you gained 6 positions off of that turn 1 and 2. You're already up into like 7th place by the end of that. How did you manage, and kind of what happened there?
I don't know, to be honest. It's just try not to go too close to the others when you're in that situation, and try and pick the gaps and be wary of anyone who's going to get into any, collisions and slow down in front of you.
Yeah. And well, I mean, you made it work there, because that basically set you up for the rest of the race. My biggest concern with you qualifying towards the back was traffic, and I had no doubt that you had the pace there to get towards the front of the field. But whether or not those slower cars were going to let you by was going to be the issue, and you made that a non-issue, basically just clearing all of them right off of turn 1. Got yourself up to another podium here, and that's a good haul of points. Into the next races. I believe we're in Australia next week. Is this a track you feel like you're going to be able to repeat that this performance? Do you feel confident heading into the following races?
I'm not that confident with Australia. I had an incident turn 1 there, season 3, but I had a good comeback from that. But I don't think I've got great pace there at all. It'll just be a matter of trying to get through everything like I did today, hopefully.
Well, I wish you the best of luck, and definitely a good, solid haul of points there for your championship. So getting yourself closer. I don't think anyone can really touch Welsh Maldonado right now, but you are definitely getting way closer to P2 and P3, if not already in P2 or P3 with that result. So congratulations on the race. Obviously, best of luck there for the following ones as well.
Grazie ragazzi.
Grazie ragazzi indeed. Aizen, you're in here.
Hi.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, same question to you. You started on the front row there, managed to defend Welsh Maldonado into turn 1, and then managed to actually stay close to her for a long part of that opening stint. And it kind of turned into, I wouldn't say a boring race for you, but you didn't have much company. Can you take us through kind of what was going through your head there through that Grand Prix?
It was a very lonely race. It really was just doing laps, get into the rhythm, keep the pace sort of consistent, don't spin out, obviously. And it really was lonely, nobody around me. F1 Richie was getting kind of close towards the end, so I was a little worried about that. I tried a little bit, as long as I had DRS and Welsh Monado, to see if I can maybe keep close. After a few laps, I just couldn't do it, so...
I mean, she's definitely by far the quickest driver on this grid, but I was honestly I was surprised that you were so close to her, 10, 12 laps into the Grand Prix. I thought she was just going to run away, but you did a great job staying close enough that a single mistake could have easily brought you back in that fight for the lead. I was saying, what a turnaround you've had since Austria. You finished 2 laps down over there. You finished 2 on the scoreboard today, second place. How do you feel like you can capitalize on this going forwards?
I feel I can. I feel pretty good right now. I've had a whole bunch of pretty bad, or at least pretty average races in the first couple. So I'm really happy for a good result, and I really hope I can continue like this, similarly. And well, similar situation in last season after Singapore, it just all kind of kept going well for me.
Yeah, it's well, I guess you really want to like hold on to that momentum. I asked the same to Richie going into Australia. How confident do you feel? Do you think we're going to see you on another pole position here before the end of the season? Mm-hmm.
My best qualifying results were in rain, if I remember correctly. So maybe if there's another rainy qualifying, maybe, but I think that if it was dry today, it would have been a little bit of a different story. So,
well, I mean, I wish you the best of luck for at least getting on the front row again this season, and hopefully on the podium more than once. You had a tough start to the season. This haul of points is definitely going to rocket you up the standings, what can I say? Congrats on the race. This was actually quite an entertaining Grand Prix despite the field spread. Hey, it's done. You got you got the second place trophy.
Yeah, thanks.
All right, well, that's going to be the end of it for us. Thank you to everybody who tuned in. We still got a couple of straggling viewers on the stream. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to subscribe and like us on social media. Don't forget to check out our merch as well. Link in the description for all of those things. And we're going to see you in 36 minutes for Division 2. As they hit the track very shortly. Don't go too far. If you want some more racing, of course, we've got Division 1 right after. But in either case, thank you to everybody who's tuned in. And my name is ISRL Knight, and I'll see you next week.